The message came at 11:48 p.m. Hey, are you awake? Of course I was. I'm always awake when I shouldn't be. It was her, Jade, the girl I spent 3 years loving and 6 months trying to unlove. The girl I met at Pride with glitter on her collarbones and a kiss that felt like a cigarette after a storm. The girl who left me for a husband named Caleb. I should have blocked her. I should have prayed. Instead, I replied, always. Jade always had one foot in the closet and the other buried in Bible study. Her family's the kind that sings Waymaker at weddings and says the gay spirit is a phase. So when she told me she was marrying Caleb, I didn't cry. I laughed. Then I screamed into a Woolworths paper bag. Then I dyed my hair pink and made out with 3 people in 1 week. Coping mechanisms? Poor. Taste in women? Worse. She married him anyway. He's soft spoken, a youth pastor, wears cardigans in spring. He says things like Jade completes me and brings her flowers with handwritten Bible verses tied in twine. He thinks I'm her best friend, and I let him think that because I'm here to ruin his marriage. How to sabotage a union? Softly. Step 1. Insert yourself. I started showing up, helping Jade with groceries, offering to walk their dog, bringing banana bread I didn't bake. Step 2. Be a mirror. I reminded her of who she used to be. Loud, chaotic, free. I wore ripped jeans to brunch. I talked about queer art and rooftop kisses. I played our song in her car by accident. Step 3. Let her make the first move. And she did. One night she looked at me across her kitchen counter and whispered, "You still wear the perfume I like." I said, "I wear it for you." She didn't pull away. She didn't kiss me either. She just stood there trembling like a hymn. It was always like that. She touched me like I was sacred, but spoke like I was a sin. We'd lie side by side on her couch. Her hand would find mine, hidden under blankets like a secret. She'd say, "I miss how we used to be." But then she'd pull away the minute Caleb walked in. I became her halfway house, her in between, her emotional side chick. We never had sex again, but we did everything around it. Lingering hugs, midnight calls. That one weekend we went to a wine farm and slept in the same bed. She wore my shirt. I watched her change. She knew what she was doing. She always knew. Hope is a narcotic, and she fed it to me in teaspoons. She said, "If I was braver, I'd be with you." Said, "If I didn't care about my parents." She said, "If I didn't think I'd go to hell." I said, "You're already there." She cried, and I held her like a sinner holds a gun, guilty and sure. But every time I asked her to choose me, she said, "It's not that simple." And I said, "It is." She said, "I can't hurt him." And I said, "Then you're hurting me instead." The worst was the dinner party. Caleb invited me. He made spaghetti and meatballs and used parsley like a chef. Jade wore a white dress. I wore heartbreak under a denim jacket. We all toasted to love. I toasted with wine. They toasted with juice. I wanted to pour the wine on his sweater. I didn't. I smiled. I laughed. Jade touched my knee under the table. I nearly dropped my fork. After dessert, he went to pray in the other room. She kissed me on the cheek. I whispered, "Run away with me." She said, "Don't make this harder." That's when I knew I wasn't the storm. I was just the thunder in her chest she refused to follow. Eventually, I gave her an ultimatum. I said, "Him or me, choose." She looked at me like I'd cursed her. She said, "I can't. I can't do that to them." I asked, "Them?" And she said, "My family, Caleb, God." Not once did she say my name. I left. I didn't cry until I got to my car. Then I wailed like a haunted thing. It's been 8 weeks. She hasn't called. I heard through mutuals that she started a women's Bible study group. She posts selfies with Caleb on Instagram now. I muted her account. I dyed my hair again. I kissed strangers. I stayed out all night and drank too much gin. I told myself it's over. I told myself she never loved me. But that's not true. She did. She just loved fear more. You know what the worst part is? She turned me into a villain. She tried to ruin my marriage. But what I really tried to do was save her from the closet, from the shame, from herself. She picked him. She picked the lie. And me? I'm still awake at 11:48 p.m. just in case she ever texts.